Hey guys, it's Tess, and I know I've neglected this channel for a while now, but I really wanted to get this video out for you guys, and as you can tell by the title, it is my study abroad experience. And if you've been following my videos for a while, you may know or may already know that I studied abroad in the fall semester, so from August of 2011 until December, right before it turned 2012. And I had a lot of you guys either messaging me on Twitter or messaging me here on YouTube or Facebook or something like that, asking me to tell you guys about my experience. And because I know a lot of you guys were saying you were interested and you wanted to hear how I liked studying abroad and what I did while I was over there, what I would recommend, all that fun stuff. So I'm going to try to keep this video as interesting and as short as possible, but there's a whole semester of information to give you guys. So once I figured out that I wanted to study abroad, now it came time to actually picking a program and applying to it. Obviously, I ended up picking England, and there's no particular reason why I ended up picking England. It was honestly a toss-up on which one I wanted to do. England, I guess I just always wanted to go to a little bit more, so that kind of triggered my decision to go there. So I ended up obviously getting into the England program, and I was very excited. And now this is the tricky part, because a lot of you guys are asking where they sent us in England, and this program specifically is just for my university in England. So if I were to tell you exactly where we were, you guys could find out where I go to school. And I mean, there's really no reason why I don't tell you guys where I go to school, because I'm not like scared of you guys or anything. It's just on the internet, and I just don't want to. Where I go to school isn't very big. Like, it's not a super big place, so I just kind of want to keep it on the DL for that. But I will tell you that we did stay near Newcastle. Newcastle is very north. A lot of you guys kind of assumed that I was staying in London, but actually I stayed more towards Newcastle. So up in that area, that's where I was. As for like people I knew, I did know a few people before I met everyone, like obviously in England, the group that we were going with. There was about 22 of us, I believe. I could be wrong on that number, but it was like in the 20s. While I was there, we took classes. We had 2 professors from my university here in the States that came with us, and then we had 2 British professors. So like I said earlier in this video, I didn't go to an actual university while I was studying in England. Basically, the school studies or whatever came to us. So we obviously didn't study with other British students, but we did stay in a town, obviously, and it was a smaller town near Newcastle, like I said before, and like we had teachers that came to us and taught us classes right where we were staying. And then what was kind of unique to our program that I don't know how many other programs have this is that every Friday, or most every Friday, we would take a field trip somewhere near around England. And the first 3 places that we went to were Hadrian's Wall, which I'm not going to bore you guys with the history of any of this stuff or anything, but if you're from England or been to England, you kind of will know or maybe understand what I'm talking about. But Hadrian's Wall, we went to Edinburgh, Scotland. I don't know if I said that right, Edinburgh. Sorry if you're from there and I didn't say it right, but we went there, and then we went to the Lake District. And those 3 places were really, really cool. We got to see some castles, we got to see some large areas of green land, which sounds like boring, but it was actually really, really cool. We saw a ton of different stuff, and it was just really pretty. It's nothing like you're used to here. If you're from America and you go to England, it's very, very open and just beautiful. I just loved it there. We also went to Castlereagh Stone Circle, and I really enjoyed seeing those things that I don't see every day while I'm here, so I definitely thought that was cool. And it was also nice learning about it the day before in class from our British professor, and she told us a little bit about the history of it, why it's there, that kind of stuff. So then after those 3 field trips, we had our first scheduled break. Now, we had scheduled breaks throughout the semester where we could travel basically wherever we wanted to go. We didn't have like professors with us or anything like that. It was just kind of, you're free. It's kind of like a holiday, basically. We had 2 different ones throughout the semester. The first one was just a week long, and that is where me and 3 other people from my trip decided to go on a Mediterranean cruise, and that was very, very cool. We got to go all over France and Italy, and that was really fun. We went to Toulon, France. I hope I'm saying that right. We went to Nice. We went to Monaco and Monte Carlo.
Where are we? Monte Carlo!
We went to Pisa. We went to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, which was really, really cool. We got to see Florence, Italy. That was really fun.
We are at the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Not pizza. Pisa. It's really, really pretty. And we love Italy. Right? Italia. Buongiorno.
Florence. Why couldn't I remember that?
We're in Florence.
Wait, cut it out, edit.
And then the last one we stopped at on our cruise was Civitavecchia. I hope I'm saying that right. It's right outside of Rome. So we went there as well. And all of those places were so beautiful. It was so nice to kind of get on a cruise boat and it take you everywhere. I mean, it wasn't like the typical traveler, whatever, but it was really, really fun. It was a nice break. We got, you know, good food on the cruise boat. It was just a really fun experience, and it took us to all these places we were very unfamiliar with. And I would definitely go back to any of those places. I thought it was really, really fun and just beautiful. Nothing like I've ever seen before. And then the next field trip that we took through school was to Durham, and that was really neat too. We took a lot of trips to different cities in England, like around like smaller towns and things like that. So we went to Durham, and then we took a long trip, about a 4-day trip to London, which was definitely one of my favorites. London was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. Obviously, I've never been there before, and I just thought it was so big and pretty, and I loved all the buildings. It just looks very historic and just very nice. I loved everything about London. I would live in London. Seriously, I absolutely loved it. After the 4-day trip to London, we took an optional trip, some of us did, to Paris. And that was so much fun. I loved Paris. Paris was another one of my favorite cities. Obviously, we went and saw the Eiffel Tower and like the main monuments. We saw the Louvre, that kind of stuff. We were very touristy in what we saw. And then after a few more weeks, it came on to our second scheduled break, which was 2 weeks. And for this, we decided to go to Amsterdam, Poland, and we went to Rome, Sorrento, and Pompeii. And so that was really fun. It was me and like 5, 6 other people for the first Amsterdam and Poland trip, and then it was me and Christina, and then we went and met my family in Rome because my family came and visited me. So then the second half of the 2-week break I spent with my family, which was really nice to see them because I hadn't seen them in probably 2.5 months, 3 months. I really, really enjoyed Amsterdam a lot. We only stayed there for 3 days. That was really fun. We went to a wax museum. We went and saw the Anne Frank house. So I thought that was really cool. And then also we went to Krakow, I hope I'm saying that right, Poland. And there we kind of just did like historic sightseeing around Poland, and then we also went to some of the concentration camps around it. We went to Auschwitz and Birkenau. We wanted to definitely see some of those as students. It was just kind of very interesting and insightful to go see those places in real life, things you've been learning about in school. And so we really wanted to go see those, so we spent a day visiting those concentration camps, and then the other couple days we spent just in Poland. I thought Krakow was a very beautiful place. I thought it was so pretty. I would definitely go back there. As you guys know, my heritage is Polish. I mean, at least some of it is, not all of it, but some of it is Polish. So I was very excited to go see kind of where my ancestors came from, which was really exciting because they did come from that part of Poland. So I thought it was really fun to kind of see the town and where they came from. So then, like I said before, the second part of the trip we went to Rome, and Rome is where I met my family, some of my relatives and things like that came to visit me, and they wanted to see Rome and that kind of stuff and then come back to England when my break was up. So Rome was very, very cool and very pretty. Obviously, I'd never been there, and neither has my family, so it was very fun. We did a lot of touristy stuff. After Rome, we decided to go to Sorrento, and Sorrento was really, really beautiful. It was kind of a small, quaint town. It was just really, really nice. It was so nice there. I loved it there. It was fun, and we stayed there for a couple days, and then we went to Pompeii, and Pompeii is where Mount Vesuvius exploded years and years ago, and we got to see the remains of Pompeii, which was really, really fun and very educational. We did all the tour guides and stuff. Any places we ever went, we had tour guides because we really didn't know what we were looking at most of the time unless we learned it through school, but it was nice to have a tour guide to kind of show you where to go. So that's what we did for Pompeii. And then after that, my break was up, my 2-week break was up, so my family and I and Christina headed back to England where we were staying. Then the next following week, we took another school trip to Newcastle, because like I said, we were obviously near Newcastle, so we took a trip to Newcastle University and we toured that. Newcastle University is beautiful. I loved the buildings. We went and toured BBC, which I thought was fun. We were all mass comm students, or most of us were, so it was kind of cool to see the BBC news station and kind of stuff like that, because that's stuff that we're all interested in doing when we graduate, so it was nice to see how it works over there. And then the last place we visited to on our trip was York, and York was really pretty too. I mean, it's bigger, but it's a really pretty place, and very historic, and we did a lot of walking tours and things like that. We went to cathedrals, castles, anything possible touristy you could do, our teachers took us on. As for like recommendations, a lot of you guys are asking, oh, hey, when we study abroad, where should we go or where do you recommend? And that's so hard for me to say because I really did enjoy all the places that I went to. I learned so much from everywhere that I went. It's just kind of, I guess, like personal preference and what you like to do when you travel and tour places and things like that. It all depends on that sorts of stuff. So I guess the places that I would definitely go back to if I was going back to Europe was obviously England. England was by far my favorite place to be. I just loved it there. I would definitely move there if I could. I loved London, so I would definitely go back to London. I would go back to Paris. I would go back to Nice. I would go back to Scotland. And where else would I go back to? Oh, I'd go back to Poland. I really enjoyed Poland. But that's not saying that I didn't enjoy all the other places that I went to, because I really did. As for places that I didn't get to go to that I really wish I would have gone to or could have, because there's just really not enough time in a semester to go to all these different places, and I definitely hit a lot when I was there, and so I was really fortunate and happy to go to all the places that I did go to. But if I could go somewhere that I didn't go to, it would definitely be Germany or Ireland, or both, because both of those places were on my bucket list and I really want to see those. As for like how we got around and things like that, around England and to Scotland and stuff, we took the train, which is highly recommended. And they also have really cheap flights too. What we used to travel a lot as students was like Ryanair and EasyJet, because they're a lot cheaper than the bit higher end airlines. So we used to take those a lot, and they go to a lot of different places. So if you're looking for a cheaper flight, I would definitely recommend Ryanair or EasyJet. As for like where we stayed, when we did travel alone or just as students with each other, we would look for hostels. They're a lot cheaper than staying in hotels, and they're fun. You get to meet really cool people. I remember a hostel we stayed at in Scotland, we met people from Australia, we met people from like all over the place. It was just really cool. You get to meet a lot of kids your age and meet more people that way, and that's really fun too, and that's a really good learning experience as well. As for like language in the other countries that I went to, most of them were English speaking. They could speak English, so it wasn't that hard for us to communicate with locals and people like that at restaurants and things, because a lot of people, which I think is super awesome and just like generous of everyone over there, I just feel like everyone speaks English and we don't know anything, and I hate that, because I just really wanted to like learn all these different languages after I went there, because a lot of places were so accommodating. They had English versions of their menus and things like that, and I thought that was so cool and just really nice, because we don't have that here. As for like the actual school part, I know I've been talking a lot about traveling all over, but obviously we were still there studying. It's kind of hard to like think that way when you're in a whole new country and you're just like so excited to see everything. But it is also where you were studying and taking classes for college. So we did have a lot of classes. We had classes Monday through Thursday, pretty much all through the day. They're different, very different from my classes that I would normally take at university, just because they were more like British focused, because we were obviously in England, so we learned a lot about that. But I thought that was very interesting. I learned a lot from it. As for like my experience while I was staying in the town that I was studying, we were obviously there a majority of the time. I mean, we only had 3 weeks where we were out of that place in England, and then like a few days that we went on field trips for the day. But most of the time we were in this one particular town near Newcastle. Obviously I can't tell you guys where it is. I wish I could. It was a very small town. It wasn't very big at all, but we made some friends, like local friends there. It was fun going out. Obviously you guys know that the drinking age is 18 there, and here in America it's 21, so it was kind of fun to be able to go out to clubs and bars and things like that while we were there. It was very fun interacting with local people. I got to learn, you know, like different slang words from England, which I thought was really fun. It's nice that you have people that came with you on the trip to be there with you too, because you guys are together all the time, and I made some of the best friends ever. I mean, I love the people that I went on the trip with. They are like some of my closest friends now. They know pretty much everything about me, and I love them to death. But I had a very awesome time. I was very impacted by my experience in the fact that I want to live in England when I grow up. It is just an experience of a lifetime. I would study abroad again if I could, and I would go back there if I could in a heartbeat. I miss everything about it, and I just miss all the fun that the people that I went with and I had while we were there. We had so much fun in the local town that we stayed at. It was just fun going out with everyone and creating memories that, you know, you're never going to forget. So I would definitely recommend studying abroad to anyone. I really hoped my experience helped you guys make your decision if you want to study abroad in the future. Again, if you have any further questions, leave them in the comments below, and I would be happy to answer any ones that you have. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.
Put it on your head. Put it on your head. Not putting it on your head. This is where it's like we were just at the words. Oh my god, it was haunted. The daffodil. Oh, it's very famous.
What do you think of it? Did you like it?
It was beautiful.
Cheers! Cheers, guys!
Cheers! This is something you will want to remember. Like,
Hello, Hannah. Hi!
Hey Tess, have you ever seen the movie The Hills Have Eyes? I am so excited.
Say bye, y'all.
bye, y'all.